am at the ER because I wanted to fulfill my fantasy of having sex on an electric bull, and something horribly wrong happened.
Your entire pelvic region, including inside your vagina, is covered in burns. Electrical burns.
We had sex in an electric bull, and we both got an electric shock.
He's coming too.
Lisa!
Welcome back, Darren.
Where's Lisa?
Oh, she's over here. She's doing good.
Please, please.
Okay, buddy.
Where's Lisa?
All right. There we go. There we go. Can I ask, what is the scar on your chest?
Hemochromatosis, defibrillator.
Hemochromatosis is a condition where your body absorbs too much iron, and that iron gets deposited in your vital organs and can cause damage. So in this case, it's the heart that got damaged, and it caused him to have an abnormal rhythm.
Because of this, in my case, my heart was destroyed, which requires me to have a defibrillator in my chest.
When did you last have your defibrillator replaced?
A couple weeks.
So an ICD is an implantable cardioverter defibrillator. And what it does is basically you implant it under the skin, and it constantly monitors a patient's heart rate and rhythm.
When Darren's heart rate rises above a certain level, say 150, the defibrillator kicks in and sends a shock to reset his heart rate.
There are many different reasons why someone would need an ICD. Sometimes the patient's heart's really large and it doesn't pump well enough, and you're at risk of going into cardiac arrest. So you could go into an abnormal rhythm on your own, you don't know it, and you could just die all of a sudden. So those patients actually need to have a defibrillator put in so that if for some reason their heart goes into a very dangerous, life-threatening rhythm, it will shock them back to normal. There are other reasons. People can have mechanical issues with the heart where they go into an abnormal rhythm because of structural issues, or some medications can damage the heart, and it just doesn't work properly like a normal heart would. So they need a defibrillator just in case they go into an abnormal rhythm, and we need to get them back to a normal rhythm so that they don't die.
But defibrillator batteries don't last forever, and when the batteries die, we replace the whole device.
Well, the new one shouldn't have any problems, right?
Well, you'd think, but the new defibrillator isn't always properly calibrated to the patient's heart rate. And if it's too low, it can go off even if the patient's heart isn't at a dangerously high rate.
Come to find out later on that my heart could have been beating just 120 beats a minute, and I would have got shocked.
So that's why the shocks are coming from Darren and not the bull.
Of course, having sex on a bull, and my heart was going a bit more than 120 beats a minute.
And since you were connected at the time, the shocks went from Darren right into you.
The doctor said this could have happened no matter whether we were on a bull or on a bed, in a car, anywhere.
We need to set his defibrillator at a better level where it won't kick in every time his heart rate rises.
That's it?
I want to keep you overnight for observation, but yeah, that should be it.
Yeah, but what about Lisa? Is she gonna be okay?
A burn to the vaginal wall or the vaginal area is like any other burn, but it's going to be more painful, and it may take a little bit longer to heal because it's a mucosal membrane. So you have to make sure you don't engage in any sexual intercourse, because that's just going to exacerbate your pain and your healing time.
And as far as me, there wasn't really a whole lot they could do to treat my burns. They told me to do like cold compresses, no sexual activity for 2 weeks. I pretty much just had to heal.
Just really wanted to have a fun romantic night with you. A start to a new relationship. And I ruined it.
Even though I just fulfilled a fantasy and there's a possibility of me, dying, I knew if it was gonna go, I didn't have a stranger with me. I had a very good friend.
You showed me what a true friend you really are. That's more romantic than anything.
I'm really very thankful that you lived through the experience.
I would have loved to have read the epitaph.
Heard we need to fix a breached implant.
We have the couple that are embarrassed.
I'm feeling deflated, doctor.
We have the pageant girls that are here screaming.
I knew it! You're a cheater.
And I think it's going to turn into an all-out boxing match in a few seconds.
You should be dethroned for having implants. And you two are dating? Frauds!
Despite all the craziness that's going on, we need to get these patients taken care of.
All right, ladies, I admit it. We broke the rules. But I love her.
Ugh, God.
You don't need a crown or any artificial curves to be my queen.
God.
You want to be Miss Nightlife? Take it. I already have what I want.
It was refreshing to see that the patient decided on her own that the best decision was for her to resign.
These implants are more trouble than they're actually worth. I'm done. Doctor, can you make my butt the smooth little behind it used to be?
I'll do my best. I'm confident I can get all the loose silicone.
Thanks, Doc.
At the end, love prevails in that even though she didn't get her donkey booty, she got her Prince Charming in the end.
And I've got good news. You don't have a testicular torsion. But you do have kidney stones.
The doctor finally gives us the diagnosis, and it turns out it was something simple as a kidney stone. They were just trying to figure out why I had it.
We're gonna be outside, but if you need us, we'll be right here, okay?
You guys rock.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we've got you on painkillers, and we also have you on some fluids to help you pass the stone easier.
A kidney stone initially develops in the parenchyma of the kidney, and it's actually not painful while it sits in the kidney itself. It then migrates down into the ureters, and that's when you start to develop pain. From there, it enters the bladder, and then it goes out into the world through the urethra. Kidney stones are thought to be more prevalent in men compared to women, and research suggests that that might be because of lower levels of estrogen in men.
But what I really want to know is, how does a 21-year-old kid develop kidney stones? Mind if I take a look at what you're drinking?
I wasn't really sure what the doctor was getting at when I handed over my tea.
How much of this stuff you drink in a day?
He drinks at morning, lunchtime, after work.
Maybe 4 or 5 bottles a day.
He drinks literally nothing but green tea.
Why?
Okay, there's the problem. Basically, the combination of ginseng and sugar in the tea, especially with the large amount you're drinking, well, it's causing crystals to calcify into stone.
A kidney stone is when crystals develop in the urinary tract and they clump together to form a stone, which is literally like a small granule of sand that passes through. Foods that are high in oxalic acid can increase your risk of developing kidney stones, such as spinach, French fries, coffee, or tea.
So the tea threw off the balance?
So it turns out I brought all this onto myself. I love my green tea, but it is definitely not worth all this.
Well, now that we know what caused the stone, I'd like to figure out what dislodged it. What else have you been up to today?
Maybe it wasn't just the tea. Well, we were about to go out on our first run.
Someone wanted a morning quickie.
It was probably the combination of sex and the hand heating, which dislodged the stone.
Once a kidney stone starts to move, you're constantly going to have pain, but that pain's going to wax and wane in severity. If you engage in any sort of sexual activity during that time, it's definitely going to make the pain much more severe.
Yeah. So just drink plenty of fluids, no tea, lots of water, and it should pass.
So a few days later, I get to pass in the kidney stone, and I thought getting it in the first place was bad.
Thank you for taking care of me.
We were determined to maintain a healthier diet, but we are definitely not giving up on sex because we love each other so much.
Set the alarm a little earlier tomorrow?
That way we'll have time for fun before we hit the slope.